Okay, so a voice over this image that I took on the 17th of February. And I wanted to talk about that event that took place they call the solar eclipse, because it is more than just a shadow that's being cast upon my earth. The moon is a metallic and magnetic object. And when I put my moon and my sun together, it causes a destabilization of the energy matrix of life, consciousness. The consciousness, the spirit, is held together by magnetic forces, all controlled by my sun. And the moon is counterbalancing object. And so when you put a magnet close to a heat source, it loses its magnetic properties, and thus a kinetic energy is released even more onto the atoms. And it is by that particular event that the magnetic property would loosen, you see, because when I change the atomic arrangement of any metal through heat, that's the effect of it. But it isn't just affecting metallic matters, you see, it's life itself. And that is why, in the knowledge of old, they know that when an eclipse happens over a particular area of my lands and even on the seas, you see, it actually destabilizes the consciousness, the spirits of those beings, and it is not easily noticeable by those beings because it's happening from deep within. And so a solar eclipse is basically the sun at the higher plane, then the moon in the middle over my earth, my creation, casting that shadow and that particular event for the magnetic forces. And then after that would be what they call the lunar eclipse that will be happening on the 3rd of March 2026. And during that event, it is the moon and the sun far away from each other, but on the same plane over my earth. And that also has its influence upon the magnetic forces, which affects my creation. And during that time, the magnetic forces will be re-established in accordance to how I need it to be. And then after the lunar eclipse, then I will be pulling my sun far away from my earth, and it would be about the magnetic forces again. And during that time, it will affect more than just the life, but also with the other objects, the rocks, the metals, because that would be the time when I'm removing my sun from its proximity, not too far away, just so I could destabilize the molecular bonds of those metals and rocks that I wanted to. It is a very simple thing. And those are the events that are happening. Regarding science, the scientific view of my creations, the applicable scientific mathematical technique during these events would be the calculus, because it is a measure of the edge of a certain event. But you see, those mathematical techniques that they do, it is something that I do not do because it is from deep within myself. Those mathematical techniques are only used by those who are trying to reverse engineer, so to speak, my creations as they try to catch up. During my time here in this Raymond, I've never attended the classes of calculus. And the other equation that had been made famous by Einstein E equals mc squared times infinity. That particular equation is not applicable here because that is for destruction, and that is most applicable in the furnace of fire.